The government of the Republic of the Gambia has on Thursday convened a press conference to update the public on the developments relating to security sector reform in the Gambia. The press conference, which took place at the Dawda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center, was attended by the National Security Advisor, Abubakar Suleiman Jeng, government spokespersons, Ibrahim G. Sankare, cabinet ministers, and many other stakeholders. During his remarks, National Security Advisor Abubakar Suleiman Jeng stated the purpose of the press conference.
The purpose of this media briefing is to sensitize the public and create awareness on the ongoing security sector reform in the country in order to provide update on what has been achieved thus far, highlight what are the challenges and way forward in addressing these challenges. This is hoped to widen the understanding of the population who are critical stakeholders of the process, noting that SSR is not an event, but a process. This should be the takeaway. It is very, very important. SSR is not an event, but a process.
The National Security Advisor also touched on the objective of the security sector reform.
To entrench democratic practices that uphold the principle of good governance and justice system in line with international conventions, treaties, and practices. To ensure a fully integrated and effective coordination of the security sector at national, regional, and district levels. To ensure civilian management and oversight bodies execute their functions in a robust, effective, and efficient manner and in conformity with relevant legal and policy frameworks. To mainstream gender within the security sector, thus providing for the well-being of vulnerable groups in line with international best practices. To have a security sector that is compact, well-resourced, but most importantly, apolitical.
Mr. Jeng also explained the key indicators in the security sector reform.
Restoration of trust and confidence of the public in the security sector, paramount. Respect for human rights and the rule of law in line with best practices and international standards. Security sector composed of efficient, effective security institutions that are fully subordinate to democratic norms and civilian rule. But most importantly also, a well-defined national security architecture and ownership of the security sector reform process by this government.
The National Security Advisor went on to outline what President Barrow's government has achieved as far as the security sector reform is concerned.
Establishment of the Office of National Security and appointment of National Security Advisor to coordinate the activities of all the security institutions and to lead the SSR process. Examples of the new security policies and programs developed and being implemented are National Security Policy, National Security Strategy, Security Sector Reform Strategy, National Defense Policy, Legal Coordination Framework, National Security Council Bill, National Sector Institutional Legal Framework, last but not least, the creation of the legal database website.
He expounded on the achievement they register on capacity building and institutional development for security services.
I will start with the Gambia Armed Forces, what have been registered so far. Legal frameworks and policy documents have been reviewed, developed, or some being drafted. These include defense policy, peacekeeping policy, defense strategy, terms of reference of the service, which is called the TACOS, and most importantly, the Gambia Armed Forces Act of '85 and other subsidiary documents. Training has been tailored to support the professionalization of the armed forces, particularly for the officers' corps in different military fields since 2017. Some of them have attended Defense College, War College, and other senior leadership strategic courses, both in-country and outside. Appointments and reassignments in the positions are based on competence, capacity, and capability. No more of how long you've been there or what tribe do you belong to. To the Gambia Police Force, legal frameworks and policy documents have been revised, developed, some have been drafted. Policies such as crime management and critical incident response, standard operating procedures, police guidance, manual, arrest and detention manual, pocket book on election security, policing, public assembly, etc. Training has been tailored to support the professionalization of the general duty police as well as police intervention unit in areas such as forensic investigation, traffic management, public order management, public safety and crime prevention, community policing guideline, etc.
After a democratic change of power in the Gambia in 2017, the country embarked on a traditional journey. The Gambia government identified security sector reform as one of the key priorities in its national development plan. 5 years in, Gambian citizens has expressed doubt about the government's seriousness to move the process forward, and the progress of SSR remains limited. Reporting for Kerr, Fatou, I am Mamingo.